Let's bring in for the analysis Rex Lee, research affiliate of the Lao China Institute, a professor of international relations at the School of Global Affairs at King's College in London. Professor Lee, thanks for being with us here on France 24. We appreciate your time. This is a very different kind of meeting, isn't it, compared to Donald Trump's Beijing visit?
Yes. Yes, indeed. I think this visit is warmly welcomed by Chinese leaders. I mean, if you look at the way that Putin has been received, look at the body language, of the leaders, the officials. We can clearly see a difference here. And yes, I mean, I think the two countries have been developing a close and strong relationship between them for over 2 decades now. And then they have placed a great deal of emphasis on the importance of their strategic partnership to both countries.
Do we read into the timing of this, Professor Lee, that the three leaders in question, Trump has just been to Beijing, Putin is now there, obviously Xi Jinping is hosting, America, Europe, Asia, basically the three countries carving up these areas of the world for themselves and making sure that neither stands on the toes of the other. Is that what we're looking to see? Is this what we're seeing develop?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I think this is clearly an example, a good example of great power competition. And I think China's position, if we look at the three players, China is clearly in a central position here, and it is developing better relationship with the Trump administration. But at the same time, it is also maintaining its close strategic partnership with Russia, because after all, Russia and China share the same goal of building what they call a multipolar world, and constructing an alternative world order which is not dominated by the United States and its allies.
There are two issues that will be discussed. I think they were referred to by the Kremlin as key international and regional issues. That, I think, is another way of saying Ukraine, another way of saying Iran. China isn't likely to stop helping Russia as it has been doing. And China isn't likely to stop helping Iran, is it?
Oh, well, I think China will continue to support Russia. It will support Russia, through trade and diplomatic channels, and also I think on the international stage, given China's position, its open support for Russia is very, very important to Putin, and really I think this state visit to Beijing is designed to send a clear signal to the world that China and Russia share a common vision of the global order, and they are willing to collaborate very closely in dealing with a range of economic, security, and diplomatic issues, including the one in Ukraine. Now, you mentioned Iran, of course, and Iran is important because both countries have close ties with Iran. And potentially they could play an important role in ending the conflict.
In terms of Ukraine, clearly this raises a number of questions for the European states who are supporting Ukraine and trying to boost Ukraine's fight for its independence and to maintain its identity. But from China's perspective, would China be looking at this basically on this kind of level? Ukraine is to Russia what Taiwan is to China. Basically, our territory, we want it back.
Yes. I think there are similarities here, and as we know, China has been supporting Russia's narrative that really it was forced to launch a military operation in Ukraine because of NATO expansion and because of sort of Western support for Ukraine, and for Taiwan, obviously, it is very important to China, as President Xi made it absolutely clear to President Trump when he was in Beijing, and I think China will continue China will expect Russia to continue to support its position regarding Taiwan diplomatically. Although Russia is not expected to get involved militarily.
It doesn't matter then that Vladimir Putin is a wanted war criminal. It doesn't matter that Russia's acted illegally in Ukraine since 2014, maybe even before. It doesn't matter that 20,000 children were snatched from Ukraine, put into Russian families. This is the subject of the war crimes investigation. All that doesn't matter to Xi Jinping.
Well, I think from China's perspective, this is just a reflection of Western narratives, and really, it has always been trying to explain or helping Russia. Trying to help Russia to explain its position and why it launched the military attack on Ukraine, and because Russia's security was threatened by NATO and by countries like Ukraine, and I think that has been China's position.
OK, that's China's position. Whether that's fact or fiction, of course, perhaps is a question of interpretation. But I think the facts all stack up to say Russia's invasion of Ukraine is illegal and shouldn't be accepted by anybody internationally. But we are where we are, of course, with China's position. In terms of what happens with Iran, support continues for Iran, of course, and that is a different kind of issue, I suppose. In fact, there's the issue regarding a Chinese ship being struck by a Russian drone. That's not likely to cause any friction in this visit, is it? No. I mean, I think one has to remember that China needs more oil from Russia as a result of the Iran situation, and I think President Putin is more than happy to help Xi, and also it is an important source of revenue for Russia, and I think in some ways I think the Iran war have brought Russia and China together even more closely. We need to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. Fascinating talking to you, Professor Lee. That's Rex Lee, Research Affiliate at the Louth China Institute and Professor of International Relations at the School of Global Affairs at King's College in London. Thank you, sir, very much indeed.